Hello, YouTube. This is Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's time again for another knife of the day. I'm going through my collection, knife by knife, day by day. We're starting with the Spyderco collection. There's already over 100 knives of the day on the playlist. Go check them out. A lot of discontinued knives. We're going to be going through my Spyderco collection for some time. And then we're going on to a Chris Reeve collection that has close to 60 knives of all different kinds. My Browse Blade collection, close to 30 knives. The case knives, the striders, the hinderers, some customs, all of those things. I want to go through knife by knife, day by day. You know, every day we do a pocket dump deconstruction where we talk about what's in my pockets, and I actually carry 3 knives, a keychain, a medium, and a larger knife. But there are so many knives I don't get to, so many knives you guys haven't seen on this channel, so I figured we do knife by knife. Today, the knife of the day is the Spyderco Vallotton, the Sub-Hilt. And I have to tell you, Spyderco released the little Sub-Hilt, a smaller version of this just this year. I'm recording this in 2017, and we'll get to that later on in this series. But man, when I first got this knife, and I haven't been collecting that long, I just loved it. The heft of it. This is a beast of a knife. Now I know everything's about smaller, thinner, lighter, yada, yada, yada. And I've got a lot of those knives, and I understand it when I put them in my pocket. Okay, in fact, I have a pocket dump today that probably altogether weighs less than what I have in my hand right here. But let me just tell you something. The craft that went into this and just how good it feels. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Whether it's a watch, I love the heft of it. A Cuban cigar, I love the heft of it. My knives, there are some bigger knives that I just love the heft of it. So let's talk about the Vallotton. Butch Vallotton, a custom knife maker. One thing, he was the first one to come up with using the thumb studs. You see these right here? Now you can open this using the thumb studs, but there's a Spidey hole there, right? So why do it? But what he did was he used those studs as the lock pin for the lock of the knife. See, I clicked in there and I almost cut my little finger. You see that? So that's part of the locking part of it. See? Now, we've seen this in a lot of different places. The Umnumzun, the Chris Reeve Umnumzun, and a million other knives. But Butch Vallotton was the first one. Spyderco wanted to make sure they put that in there, even though they had the Spidey hole. So let's talk about the blade first. Hollow ground blade, but there really are 2 bevels here. So you have this hollow ground. It's S30V steel, by the way, S30V steel. You have this hollow ground, and then at the tip, you see that secondary bevel? And it's almost a tanto blade. And it gives you a lot of strength. Look how thick this stock is. A lot of strength, a lot of different ways of really getting into it with the knife. They have this jimping right there, right when you're getting to the top of the Spyderco hole, and just can really dig into it. What a nice knife. Now it's the handle that's something. First, let's talk about this liner lock. Sorry. Let's talk about the liner lock. It's a very thick liner lock. And I know you'll see people talk about this and they always talk about, look how far out this is. Look. Yes, it is far out there. You know, usually this part of the lock bar is kind of more flush to the handles. In this, and this isn't a mistake. On the little Sub-Hilt, it's the same way. So here's my issue with both of those. First, yes, it does stick out. Second, you don't feel it at all when you're grabbing this. It's not a hot spot. Third, it's so easy to release this thing. Big blade, big lock, easy to release. Because it's up there, I'm okay with it. I get what people mean because you usually don't see that. But man, especially with my big thumbs, so easy. And I'm assuming if you have gloves on, I know if you have gloves on, unlike a lot of liner locks, the vast majority of them, easy to get to, okay? If you had gloves on it. Because liner locks are not easy to get to with gloves on it. Some liner locks just aren't easy to get to. And that's on some very expensive knives that I own. Now look, let's talk about the handle. I really like the handle. I do. The shape of it, it's a thick handle. It has stainless steel bolsters and a piece of the smooth G10 in the middle, placed in the middle of it. Oh, I keep saying Spyderco does smooth G10 better than anyone else. Look at it. It feels so great in the hand too. A G10 backspace. Now, the one thing I was so angry about, and Spyderco doesn't do this now, not that often. You have this beautiful handle with the bolster and everything, and they forced it to be a four-way clip. I get left, right. You know, a lot of Spyderco knives, a lot of folks' knives now, you'll get right, left, but it's either only tip up or only tip down. And I get it. I think the Vallotton probably was at that point where research and sales reports and stuff going into Spyderco really pointed to, you know, more choices for the clip. But why mess that up? They don't do that often anymore. If this were made today, now the little one has the same, but it would probably be left, right, tip up only. But this gives you both ways, tip down, tip up, but I just think they ruined that. Stainless steel liners, they are skeletonized, but not as skeletonized as people do today. You feel the liners, but they are skeletonized. Man, it just feels so great. The clip is a regular Spyderco clip, and I think you needed the heavy duty clip, but wow, it feels great in the hand. I really like the Butch Vallotton. So let's talk about the particulars. 3.75 inch blade, S30V steel, open all the way. It's 8.7 inches total. It weighs 6.2 ounces. 6.2 ounces. Man, I'll tell you, yes, it is a big knife, clunky knife, but it's like some of my tag knives, tag watches, or some other heavy watches. I like the heft of it. Now, when it's in your pocket, I don't carry it all that much because it is hefty. But what a beautiful knife. It really is beautiful. Today's knife of the day, well, it's the Spyderco Vallotton. It's the Sub-Hilt. Butch Vallotton helped design it. It is a wonderful knife. Spyderco just released the small version of it, the little Vallotton. The little Sub-Hilt, which I really like. There it is compared to the Paramilitary 2 and the Endura. If you're enjoying this series, don't forget to like this with a big thumb up, share it, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any videos. Thank you for watching. You guys have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.